So I've been asked to tell a story which I was told by a friend, and it's a Russian folktale. So this Russian folktale starts off with this soldier. He went through the ranks. He was a very good soldier. He went through the ranks and became friends with the Tsar. Like, the Tsar was his homie. They were really close. They were almost like family. So the Tsar's like, yo bro, you've done enough. You've done enough service. I'm gonna release you from the army. You can go do whatever you want. The soldier's like, dang, that's really cool of you. Thanks. So the soldier is like, okay, well, what am I gonna do? So he grabs 3 loaves of bread, and then he starts wandering. Because he's like, it's fine. I'm just gonna wander around, see the world. Let's do it. So he comes across a beggar. And the beggar's like, oh my god, I need food, I'm gonna die. And the soldier, because he's a good person, relatively, he gives the beggar one of his loaves of bread. And he's like, here you go. Eat it, that's all yours. You have a good time. And the beggar's like, oh, thank you, that's really kind of you, and then he goes off. The soldier continues walking and comes across a second beggar. And the beggar's like, oh, I really need to eat something. And the soldier's like, here's my second loaf of bread. You can have it. Entirely you. You just eat that. You need it more than I do. And then the beggar's like, oh, thank you. That's very kind. So the soldier then comes across a third beggar. And at this point, he only has 1 loaf of bread left. And he's thinking, well, I can't just give him the whole loaf of bread, but if I give him only part of the loaf of bread, because beggars in Russia talk to each other, they'll know that I skimped this one, and then that'll just make me look really bad. So he said, well, okay. So he gave the third beggar the entire loaf of bread. And the third beggar was actually a fae, so he shows his true form. He's like, because you gave me this through free will, I'm going to give you something in return. And so he gives him this sack. Vague material, cheap material, the usual kind of sack. And the soldier's looking at it like, okay, you just given me a bag. And the fae's like, it's a magic sack. If you say, insert name here, get in the sack, it'll get into the sack. Like, no questions asked. And the soldier's like, okay, man, thanks. So the soldier just continues on his way, and he's like, okay, I gotta go. So he just leaves the fae beggar, and he's wandering, and he comes across a lake, and he's like, I'm kinda hungry. So he looks around, and on the lake, he sees these 3 geese swimming, and he then looks down at his bag, and he's like, well, I might as well give it a shot. So he opens the bag, and he's like, geese, get in the sack. So all the geese, to his surprise, actually get into the sack, so he shuts it, and he's like, well, okay, now I have 3 geese. So then he continues wandering, and he comes across a town. And in the town, he goes into the bar, the pub, and he says to the bartender, okay, I have 3 geese in here. I will give you 2 of them for a beer and a night's rest, and also payment for making the 3rd one my dinner. So the bartender's like, dang, geese are expensive. Like, bro, I got you, fam. And so he did what the soldier asked. Now, the soldier, while waiting for his dinner to be cooked, looks out the window and sees this really decrepit manor. Like, its windows are blocked off, and it's just really in bad shape. And so he asks the bartender, yo, what's up with that place? And the bartender's like, the story, well, it's haunted, you see, by demons every night, anytime anyone goes in there. And they don't leave by nighttime. They find them dead and decapitated and such in the morning. And the soldier's like, dang, I want to try sleeping in there. And the bartender's like, well, you can't. The Tsar has, like, cautioned it off. And the soldier's like, it's fine. I know the Tsar. He'll let me in. So he goes to the Tsar, and he's like, I want to sleep in that mansion. And the Tsar's like, people die when they sleep in that mansion. The soldier's like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. The Tsar's like, okay, sure. Your funeral, I'll go, but you do you. So the soldier's like, awesome, sick. So now with the permission, he goes and chills in the mansion until nightfall. Nightfall comes around, and suddenly the mansion is full of demons, and they're partying, being, raving demon-like things. And so the soldier pulls out a pack of cards, because he's a soldier, and all soldiers carry a pack of cards with them, and he starts playing. And so the demons join in, and they start, betting things, and the demons start losing, and they start cheating, and the soldier's still playing by the rules, and he's still winning, and the demons are starting to get really mad, and they're like, oh, we're gonna eat you, and the soldier's like, okay, this has gone on far enough, so he pulls out the sack and says, demons, get in the bag, and all the demons get sucked into the bag, so he ties it up, and hangs it on a door nail. So, he's now just chilling by the fire, waiting until morning. Morning comes, and the servants of the Tsar are kind of walking in, slowly, cautiously, expecting blood everywhere, and they find the soldier still alive, and they're like, whoa, Shipro, you're still alive. What, are you okay? Like, what can we do for you? And the soldier is like, well, can you get me the blacksmith and tell him to bring his hammer? The servant's like, okay, weird request, but sure. What else? You're probably a noble, it's fine. So he goes and gets the blacksmith and the hammer. And the soldier, when they come back, the soldier is like, unhooks the sack and puts it on the table, and tells the blacksmith, I need you to hammer this sack. And the blacksmith's like, okay, that's not my weirdest request I've received. So he starts hammering on the sack, and then the demons start screaming. And they're like, no, let us out, we'll do anything. And the soldier's like, do you promise never to return again? And the demon's like, yes, we promise, just stop hitting us. So he stops the blacksmith from hitting the sack and opens the sack and lets them free, and the demons just run. They bolt for it, and they're like, we're never coming back ever again. How dare you? So the soldier's like, my job here is done. I'm just gonna go. I just gotta go now. It's fine. Don't thank me. People are like, oh, but we need you. And it's like, nah, I'm just going. So he continues on his way, on his travels, and then he gets a contact from his wife, and saying, our son is deathly ill. I need you to come back. And he's like, dang, okay. So he goes back home and finds that his son is indeed deathly ill, but he can't do anything. So he goes out wandering again, trying to find local medicine people to see if they could do anything for him. Now, he comes across one who has a trick. If you put a glass full of water on their head, they say, you can see Old Lady Death. Now, if Old Lady Death is standing by the foot of the bed, that means they're going to live. But if she's standing by the top of the bed, that means the person's going to die. So the soldier's like, dang, okay, that's pretty heavy, we'll see if it works. So he goes back, and he puts the glass full of water on top of his son's forehead, and he sees Lady Death standing at the foot of the bed. And he's like, oh, okay, who knows what am I back there? And he tells his wife he's going to live, don't worry, it'll be fine. He continues doing this to a few other people, just for the lulz, just exploring randomly, not wanting to go back to his wife, it's fine, usual Russian shenanigans, until he gets a message from the Tsar, his homie, his bro. So he goes back, and the Tsar is deathly ill. So he puts the glass of water on his head, going, we'll just see what's gonna happen. If you're gonna live or die, it's fine. And Lady Death is standing by the head of the bed. And he's like, bro, I can't do anything for you here. You're done. Like, there's nothing I can do. And the Tsar's like, I gave you everything. I treated you better than a brother. And this is how you betrayed me. And the soldier's like, dang, I gotta go. I can fix this, but like, you gotta give me time. And then he says, he leaves, and he's like, Lady Death, Old Lady Death, get in the sack. So she gets in the sack because she's magically compelled to by the Fae, and he goes into the forest and climbs the tallest tree and ties the sack up there, never to be dealt with again. So he continues wandering. I am really assuming there's some marital problems there, but it's fine. Continues wandering around, and he comes across this village, and he comes across the old crone of the village, and she is like withered, eyes sunken, skin completely like almost falling off her bones, and he's like, dang, you should be dead. Why aren't you dead? And she's like, yeah, I'm meant to die. I was meant to die like 5 years ago. 5 years ago was about when he tied death up. And he's like, well, that's not my problem. I gotta go. So he leaves and goes to the forest because he's like, yeah, well, that's not doing good things. People need to die, so I guess I got like a death free. So he goes into the forest, and he's like, he climbs to the tree and releases Death, and Death is like, bitch, I'm not coming near you ever again, bye. And then vanishes off into the distance. And he's like, okay, that could not cause any problems. I don't run life, it's fine. So he continues wandering, and he realizes, well, I'm not dying. I really should have died a while ago. He's like, well, it'll hit me eventually. So he continues wandering until he comes to this village where some souls have been stolen by demons. Now, with demons, they need a soul in exchange. So he's like, well, I've sinned. That's definitely the case. I've sinned. I'm not going to heaven. So I'll go down and trade my soul for theirs. And people are like, oh, that'd be really great. And he's like, yeah, don't worry about it. So he goes down and knocks on the gate of hell. And he's like, I'm here to trade my soul, my dirty, sinning soul, for the innocents. And they're like, okay, seems like a fair trade. So they let the innocents out, and when he's about to step forward through the gates, they're like, wait, what's that in your pocket? And he's like, what do you mean, what's that in my pocket? He reaches into his pocket and pulls out the sack, and the demons start screaming. They're like, no, you're not allowed in. You have the sack. You're not allowed in ever. You've sinned. So he's like, okay, dang, I'll just stay out here then. That's fine. So he takes the souls up to heaven because they're innocent. They deserve to go to heaven. He knocks on the gates and he's like, can I come in? And the guy at heaven's like, no, you can't. It's you've sinned. You're not allowed in. He's like, okay, well, can these guys come in? They're innocent. And the guy's like, yeah, they're innocent souls. They haven't sinned. They can come in. So he goes to the lost soul in line that he's just rescued, and he's like, okay, I need you to do something for me. And the soul's like, yeah, bro, anything. You saved my life. And he's like, well, I need you to take this sack. I want you to get through those gates. Say, soldier, get in the sack. And the guy's like, yeah, sure, 100%. So the guy gets in line and goes through the pearly gates. Now the thing is, as soon as you go through the pearly gates, you forget everything. So the soldier was left standing there, and he's like, well, okay, that didn't work, so I'll just go down to hell now, because I don't have the sack, so they must accept me. So he goes down to hell, and he knocks on the gates, and they're like, no, we can't let you in, we know who you are, you have the sack. And he's like, well, I don't have the sack, I gave it away. And they're like, no, we don't trust you. So the soldier was left to wander eternity, because he was not allowed into hell, he was not allowed into heaven, and Lady Death would not go near him. And that is the Russian folk story of Get in the Sack.